Do you want to send actual handwritten notes to your Pipedrive contacts when they hit a certain stage or you win the deal? If so, you've come to the right place. I'm David Wax, CEO and founder of Handwritten, and today I'm going to show you how to integrate Handwritten with Pipedrive using Zapier. So in order to use us, obviously you do need a Handwritten account. They are free of charge. Just go to handwrytten.com. That's Handwritten with a Y. You can then sign up by clicking the Sign Up button. It is free of charge to sign up. And then when you're ready to log in, you just hit the Sign In button. When you've logged in, you can see our wide selection of cards here. You can actually scroll down the middle of the page to view each aisle, such as the thank you card aisle or the employee appreciation aisle, or you can skip directly to your favorite card category, such as happy holidays or thank you, etc. One of our great features is you can actually, in addition to all these cards, you can actually design your own. To do that, just click customizable cards on the left. And then I always start with the blank full bleed flat card and I customize that to my liking. I'm not going to get into that here, but I did want to show you that's a possibility. And in fact, if we click custom cards, here are some sample cards I've created, including one for One Tree Planted. We're very proud to have partnered with One Tree Planted and made the commitment to plant a tree for every 100 cards we send on behalf of our customers. This comes out to planting 24 trees for every tree we use. We feel this is a better way to help the environment than even use recycled cardstock, as recycling uses its own chemicals and isn't great for the environment. Here, we're just making up for it about 24 times over. So we're actually going to use this One Tree Planted card in our example, which I will show you next. In addition to having a Handwritten account, you're obviously going to also need a Pipedrive account. I have a Pipedrive account here. I've created a pipeline, just so you can't see my actual pipeline, with one demo deal on it, and the demo person is, or the demo contact is David Wax, so I hope that doesn't confuse you, as that's me. And what I'd like to do in this example is send them a handwritten card every time a prospect is moved to proposal made. So we are going to set up an automation that every time you move this prospect to proposal made, it automatically sends them a fully customized handwritten note. To do that, first of all, you're going to want to make sure your contact has their address in it. So obviously you need their address, and I can see I'm missing city and state. So just make sure that you provide all the contact information, otherwise we're not able to deliver that card. Now we're going to move over to Zapier. To connect Handwritten and Pipedrive, you do need a Zapier account. Zapier is a tremendous piece of software that allows you to connect multiple systems together, in this case Handwritten to Pipedrive. So to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to sign up at Zapier.com, which I've already done. And I believe for this use case, it's actually free. For the HubSpot demo I did yesterday, we actually had to pay for Zapier because it required certain Zapier features. I do not believe that's the case here, so we're in luck. We can get by on a free account. To continue, I'm going to hit Create Zap. And here it shows me the basics of a zap, which is a trigger and an action. Now, a trigger is an event that occurs to cause this handwritten note to get sent. In this case, the trigger is moving this deal to proposal made. I also want to point out that the address information on this contact, David Wax, is in the person section. Okay? It's not in the organization section. That does determine how we're going to pull the address information in just a second. So please keep that in mind. It will work either way. We just kind of have to change our Zapier setup to get you there, and I'd be happy to show you that in just a few seconds. So now what we're going to do is we're going to trigger the deal when it hits that stage, or trigger the event when it hits that stage. So I'm going to type in Pipedrive as the trigger. Pipe, it pulled up Pipedrive. That's great. I'm going to hit event. The event is updated deal stage. That's when we want to send the handwritten note. I'm going to hit continue. I'm then going to choose the account, and I'm going to choose my Pipedrive account. Continue. And then it's going to say, what deal stage do you want to look at? And we only want to look on the demo pipe, the sent proposal deal stage. So I'm going to type in demo, and down here, proposal made, demo pipeline is exactly where I want to send handwritten notes from. So now it's going to test the trigger. You click test, and it will find the only deal there that matches this criteria, and all that looks good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to hit continue, and now that we have the deal, because we are pulling information related to the person, the personal address here, we need to pull the person information, which is stored in a related object. So it's one more step in Zapier. We're going to do Pipedrive again. And the event is actually going to be find person or look up person. Find person, perfect. Now, if the address was stored in the organization here, I'd probably still say find person first, and then we can add an additional step to find organization. The reason being is right now the name of the person, we have David Wax as one name, not David first name, Wax as last name, and we want to split it up. There's other ways to do that using Formatter by Zapier, some other tools, but the easiest is just pull the person, and then if you need to, pull the organization. So we're going to do find person, which I have there, and we're going to hit continue. It automatically uses the same Pipedrive account. And now what field are we going to search by? We're going to search by the person ID. So I'm going to go down here to ID. And what ID are we going to look up? Well, when we click here, it shows us all the data that we've pulled in all prior Zapier steps. Now, I only have one prior Zapier step, updated deal stage in Pipedrive, so it's showing everything from that. And I need to go down to person ID. If I can find person ID. Person ID value. So David Wax is person ID 56051. I'm going to do that. And what this is showing you is it's pulling the field person ID value. And for this example, because we did the load information up here, it found the example of 56051. So that's correct. I'm going to hit continue. And I'm going to test action again. Now what it's going to do is it's going to go into Pipedrive and it's going to find the person connected to the deal. And sure enough, there it is. Now, one of the great things about this is now we can pull first name and last name separately. We can also pull address, which is here somewhere. It's not showing it in this step, but I promise you it is there. So we are going to hit continue. Well, there's no continue, but we can hit the plus. And now we are going to do a handwritten action. So we're going to hit handwritten here. Now, if I want to look up the organization, I could just add it as another intermediary step, look up organization by organization ID, and then I have all the data. But for this one, I don't need that. I'm going to do the event as send card. Continue. And then I'm going to choose my handwritten account this time. Continue. And here I'm going to hard code the return address information. So I'm going to say Joe is the first name, sender is the last name of the sender, and the sender's business is Sender Co. Okay. And their address is 9280 South Kyrene Road, Suite 134, Sender city is Tempe. Again, I'm just hard coding all this as this does not change per note. State is Arizona. Now, one thing you could do is if you wanted the notes to come from the specific person, your deal owner. So let's say you have 5 people in your organization, each one has their deals in Pipedrive. You could have this pull the deal owner name. That's just a little bit more advanced of a Zapier zap. I want to go over the basics here, but it's certainly very, very doable. So now we're just going to do the recipient information, and we're going to find person in Pipedrive. We're going to pull the data from that. We're not going to pull it from updated deal stage because we don't have all the person information there. So we're going to do find person in Pipedrive, and we're going to pull their first name, and we're going to pull their last name. Whoops, their first name again, so we will do that again. There it is. And their business name, I believe for this person, their org name is empty, but we could just leave it as empty, so in case they do have an org name, it will fill in. And then their address, we're going to do the same thing. So I'm going to search address line 1, pull that in. I'm going to pull address line 2, and let's look for that. We're almost done, I promise. And address city. City, where are you? That's all. Find person, it's down here. You can see that it kind of splits it by the stage in Zapier, and we want to find it in the find person stage. So city, and then state, and then zip. Didn't take it. State, and then zip. We are done, thankfully, with the mundane. And now we are going to choose the card. Now, when you click this, it pulls all cards available to you in your Handwrytten account, including any custom cards. So we do have that One Tree Planted card I made. So we're going to go ahead and use that. And I always like to use my writing style of Joyful Jennifer. So in a second, it's going to pop up all writing styles. And I'm going to type in Joyful. And there it is, that's my favorite. And now I'm going to say dear. And what's so great about Zapier is this whole merge field feature. So I'm going to choose find person in Pipedrive, and I'm going to pick first name. So dear first name. Now you do not use handwritten templates, you use Zapier built-in fields. So dear first name, thank you for your interest in our service. I hope you enjoy the proposal. I hope the proposal meets your demands. Fine. And then I'm going to sincerely Joe. Now, if I had a signature on file, I could include that signature code here to use my authentic signature in all my notes. Simply reach out to Handwrytten and we'll give you that signature code. I could also include a gift card, which I'm not going to do, or a business card if I have one on file. Finally, I do recommend including a credit card here. I've already chosen my Amex card. The reason being, even if you have a subscription or another way of getting credits, if for whatever reason you run out of credits, you don't want your zaps to end. So by having a backup credit card on file, you're ensured that your orders will always go through. Now, before I test this by hitting continue and then test action, I do want to make sure my Handwrytten account is in test mode because I don't want to actually get charged for this card and I don't actually want to write it. So go to integrations and then make sure test mode is on. And you can see my test mode is on because I do have a beaker in the upper right next to my name. After we test the Zapier zap, we're going to turn that off so that the orders will actually flow, and ensuring your Handwrytten account is out of test mode is really critical. But for testing it, we're going to leave test mode on. I'm going to click test. You can then see it was okay and order ID is there. Now, if I go back to Handwrytten and I go to past orders, you can see the latest order. Thank you for your interest in our service. I hope the proposal meets your demands. Great. And just for your peace of mind, you can see it was a test order. It didn't actually go out. Now that looks good. I'm going to turn my test mode off, and I'm going to publish my Zap. Now, I did name the Zap during an editing session, Pipedrive Handwritten Connection, so I do recommend you name your Zap as well. It'll just make it easier to find in Zapier. I'm going to hit publish and continue. Now that's all there is to it. So we really hope you liked this video, and now you know how to send handwritten notes directly from Pipedrive automatically. Feel free to impress your friends with your knowledge of Zapier and Handwrytten and Pipedrive. If you like this video and you want to see more like it, please subscribe to our channel. If you have any questions, please reach out to our support team, contact@handwrytten.com. We'd be more than happy to help you. Thanks so much for watching. Right on.